Welcome to Fiesta Rentals. This is a tutorial on how to use the popcorn machine. Three buttons on the front. The first one to the far left is the heat. The middle one is the kettle motor. And the last one is the warmer light. Now, out of all the buttons, the warmer light you can leave on during the whole duration when you're making popcorn. The other two buttons should always be off when you're not making popcorn. So the first thing you want to do before making the popcorn is you want to turn on the kettle, the heat, and you just hit that switch, and you want to leave it on for about a couple of minutes, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes before making the popcorn so it can heat up the kettle. Fiesta Rentals will provide you with the instruction sheet as well as a recipe for the making popcorn. So the next thing you want to do is you want to turn on the kettle motor, the middle button, and you want to pour your kernel inside, and that's an 8-ounce kernel, so that's 1 cup. And then you're going to do 1 packet of butter oil, and you're going to pour that in the kettle. And you just want to be careful not to touch your actual kettle bowl because it gets hot. And then we also provide you with the salt as well. And you want to do 1 teaspoon of salt. This is a ½ teaspoon here, so we just do it 2 times. And pretty much close the lid. And it just takes a few minutes before the popcorn starts. So now the popcorn is popping, and it's pretty much just like your microwave popcorn. You know when to turn it off when you stop hearing long pauses in between pops. When you hear a few seconds, that pretty much is time for you to dump out the kettle and turn off the switch. So it's almost ready. So now the popping between each pop is getting longer, so we're going to dump it out. We're going to turn off the switches here. We're going to turn off the heat and the kettle motor. And just going to dump all the popcorn out. And you have a scoop that's provided. And you can sort of just mix that up. And voila! Have some tasteful popcorn. So when you finish and you empty out the popcorn, the key thing to make sure is that the gears, when you lock it back into place, is that the gears are touching each other. And when you turn on the motor, they should both be moving and spinning together and touching. If they're not touching and they're slightly off like this and they're spinning, that means the motor inside the kettle is not turning, and that's going to lead to your popcorn getting burnt. Also, every time you do a batch of popcorn, you always want to make sure that these 2 switches, the heat and the motor, is off. So every time you dump out a load of popcorn, you always got to turn these 2 switches off. If you don't and you leave them on, it's going to burn the popcorn or burn the inside of the kettle. And when you do your next batch, the popcorn is going to be burned. So that's a wrap on the tutorial on popcorn machine, and we hope you enjoy your popcorn and have a wonderful event.